Kevin Durant, a great player?
He is.
And he's been stifled by Boston.
And
I was going to go there.
And let me tell you something. I don't want to badmouth the dude, but I see you guys always talk about that championship stuff. I try to tell y'all, all these bus riders, they don't mean nothing to me. If you ain't driving the bus, don't walk around talking about you're a champion. If you riding the bus, I don't want to hear it. Come on, Shaq, tell them. All these guys walk around with these championship rings. Hey, y'all bus riders. But let me tell you something.
Row, Chuck.
When you the bus driver and you got all that pressure where you have to play well or you're going to get the blame, that's a different animal.
So that's what he had to say, what Shaq had to say.
Do not get fixated on useless titles. Okay. Do what you got to do. Doesn't matter who's who or they say who's what. Okay. It ain't time for all that right now. Do what you got to do and get it done.
I understand. Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
That made sense to you?
No.
Okay.
Okay, well, let me break it down. They're trying to separate you and your guy by saying who's better and who better. I'm saying don't worry about useless titles. Who's the man? Don't matter who the man is. Kobe's the man, Shaq the man. It don't matter. I'm getting my 40. Kobe getting his 39. Let's go win these championships.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what that meant.
So if anyone has seen Inside the NBA, if anyone has seen they talk about the main guy. We just saw Barkley talking about who's the bus driver, which first of all, I love these guys because I grew up watching them on, talking about basketball. But on that Houston Rockets team in the 90s, when Charles Barkley decided to join them with Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, and even Scottie Pippen all joined when Charles Barkley joined that team. If they would have won a championship, don't you think Barkley would be walking around talking about, I'm an NBA champion? Right? So let's call it what it is, right? You're creating this narrative because he doesn't like Kevin Durant. He's never liked Kevin Durant. Right? And that this was another narrative that they were pushing. The bus driver, who's pushing the bus driver, who's driving the bus driver, all of this stuff. For Shaq to say, oh, none of that stuff matters. He even went on to say that he actually wasn't the best player on those Lakers teams. And all of a sudden it doesn't matter? After all the years that you guys have pushed this narrative. I mean, we know what it is, right? We know Jayson Tatum is the best player, but we also understand that though nothing happened without the other one. We could talk, and they could talk about that Golden State Warriors team all they want. They don't win those championships without Kevin Durant. So he did have a blank ass face. So like I don't, and I saw somebody say he maybe this is his paying respects to Kobe or whatnot. Whatever the reason or the case is, you guys have killed people for this and are turning around and all of a sudden switching the whole narrative as if you didn't say that shit before. That's just like you gotta own up to that shit, man. Like, which way is it? Which way is it? Because one second you're saying, oh, don't walk around like you a champion if you ain't ride the bus, but then you over here applauding Robert Horry and Steve Kerr. Like, what the fuck? Like, all right, man. But, these guys, some of these guys, they just been around for so long that I think they forget some of the shit that they say because they're older now. But just to hear that, I was like, wait a second. You were saying some other shit just before. Like not giving the dude his respect. As if he wasn't the reason why they won that title. And yeah, so for me, that was unfortunate. And I guess to kind of further this Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown conversation. Since when? I could actually tell you since when, but since when was it a bad thing to average to almost average a triple double? Because through the finals, where is it? What's the stats right here? Because through the NBA Finals right now, Jayson Tatum is averaging 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 8.5 assists a game. He's shooting awful. Don't get me wrong. He's shooting awful. But for people to act like he is not playing well, like you must not be watching the game. To pretend like Jaylen Brown would be doing what he's doing without a Jayson Tatum on the floor. To act like Drew Holiday and Derek White wouldn't be doing what they're doing without a Jayson Tatum on the floor is just mind-blowing to me. And I think this is just a narrative that he's going to have to live with because, like I said, it doesn't look like he's going to win Finals MVP. And he's going to get killed for it over the summer. But it's on them as a team to really buckle down and go on a run because they have a team for it. Also, I think it's ironic how these conversations come up as if we didn't watch who the best player was for, let's call it 80% of the year, right? Let's call the regular season for a team like the Boston Celtics 80% of the year. The last 20%, these other guys have helped them along. They've stepped above and beyond and have helped them along. But to discredit the fact that this man has been their best player for years is mind-blowing to me. And I was seeing all this stuff about like the Jayson Tatum hate, and I thought that maybe it was just like, I thought maybe it was some bullshit. But hey, I gotta say, man, like the more I see it, the more true it looks. Cause they hate this dude, bro. Like he cannot catch a break. And it's unfortunate because everyone knows what he does for this team. And they give credit all around, but to act as if he's not doing the things that he's doing, demanding double teams. We've seen him score 30 plus a game. We've seen this, right? And we're funny enough, we're seeing it in real time. The duality of it, right? We're seeing Luka Doncic have big scoring nights and not get assists, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, look at Luka! He's playing fucking phenomenal! Look at all the shots he's hitting! Oh my God, look at the fadeaway! Luka!" And they're down 2-0. And then you look on the other side, and we look at their best player take what the defense is giving them, stay aggressive in order to get everyone else involved. Fuck his shots. He takes shots when he can. He's jeopardized his statistics in order to win, and we are shitting on that. Or not we, but people are shitting on that. Because he's not scoring 30 points a game. But his team is now up 2-0. So we're going to ignore the fact that we've obviously watched him carry this team. So they're going to double team him because he's their best player. And we're going to see if everyone else can beat us. And they have shown that they can because they're a great team. And we're still shitting on Jayson Tatum. But, hey, it is what it is, man. Like, what I've come to learn watching the NBA for 20 some odd years is it really is a sport of narratives, right? They get spun and they're going to continue to get spun.